Aston Martin. Just saying the name makes you feel posh. It's not just a car, it's a statement, a work of art, a dream on wheels. For over a century, Aston Martin has been making cars that turn heads, cars that make your heart race. But what is it about Aston Martin that makes it so special? Is it the sleek lines, the powerful engines, the hand-stitched leather seats? Maybe it's the history, the legacy. The fact that when you drive an Aston Martin, you're not just driving a car, you're driving a piece of automotive history. Whatever it is, there's no denying that Aston Martin has a special place in the hearts of car lovers everywhere. Aston Martin wasn't always the luxury powerhouse it is today. It started off much more humbly. Back in 1913, two blokes named Lionel Martin and Robert Bamford decided to start making cars. They weren't trying to create a luxury brand, they just wanted to make good cars. Their first car was basically a four-cylinder Coventry Simplex engine on an Isotta Fraschini chassis. Not exactly the stuff of legend, but it was a start. The name Aston Martin came from Lionel Martin's success at the Aston Hill climb in Buckinghamshire. The company struggled in its early years, it went bankrupt, it changed hands, but somehow it survived. By the 1950s, Aston Martin was making some of the most beautiful and desirable cars in the world. From racing success to James Bond's car of choice, Aston Martin had arrived. Now, let's talk about the cars, the real stars of the show, and we have to start with the DB5, the car that made Aston Martin a household name. Thanks to a certain British spy, the DB5 became the most famous car in the world. But it wasn't just a pretty face, it was a proper driver's car too. But Aston Martin is more than just the DB5. There's the DB4 GT Zagato, a car so beautiful it could make a grown man weep. The V8 Vantage of the 70s and 80s, Britain's first supercar, the DB7, the car that saved Aston Martin in the 90s. And let's not forget the 177, a car so exclusive they only made 77 of them. In recent years, Aston Martin has continued to innovate. The DB11 brought the company into the 21st century with its twin-turbo V12 engine. When you think of Aston Martin in the movies, you think of one man, Bond, James Bond. The relationship between 007 and Aston Martin is one of the most famous in cinema history. It all started with the DB5 in Goldfinger back in 1964. And what an entrance it was. Ejector seats, machine guns, rotating number plates. It was the stuff of every schoolboy's dreams. But it wasn't just a one-off appearance. Aston Martins have featured in numerous Bond films over the years. The V8 Vantage in The Living Daylights, the Vanquish in Die Another Day, the DBS in Casino Royale. Each time, the Aston Martin is as much a star of the show as Bond himself. For Aston Martin, it's been priceless publicity. For Bond, it's given him the perfect car for a secret agent. It's a match made in cinematic heaven. Now let's talk about how these beauties are made, because an Aston Martin isn't just built, it's crafted, like a fine suit or an expensive watch. It's a process that takes time, skill, and a whole lot of patience. And it's what sets Aston Martin apart from mass-produced cars. Take the leather interior, for example. Each hide is carefully inspected for imperfections. Only the best make the cut, then they're hand-stitched by skilled craftsmen. It takes about 70 hours just to complete the interior of one car. Or consider the paintwork. Each car gets 7 layers of paint, and between each layer, the car is hand-sanded to ensure a perfect finish. The whole process takes about 50 hours. And that's before they even start on the clear coat. It's attention to detail on a whole other level. But an Aston Martin isn't just about looking good, it's about performing well too. On and off the track, these cars are engineered to deliver, to thrill and excite, to make your heart race and your palms sweat. Let's talk engines, shall we? Aston Martin has always been known for its powerful V12S, smooth as silk and with enough power to tear a hole in the space-time continuum. The new twin-turbo V8 in the Vantage is a marvel of modern engineering. Compact, powerful, and with a sound that could wake the dead. But it's not just about raw power alone, it's about how that power is delivered, seamlessly and efficiently. The suspension, the gearbox, the aerodynamics. Everything is carefully tuned to work in perfect harmony. Now let's talk about looks, because let's face it, Aston Martins are gorgeous. They're the kind of cars that make you stop and stare, that make you forget what you were doing, that make you wish you'd chosen a different career path, one that paid a lot more. But it's not just about being pretty. Aston Martin's design philosophy is all about combining beauty with functionality. Every curve, every line, every vent has a purpose. It's not just there to look good, it's there to make the car perform better, to cut through the air more efficiently, to keep the engine cool. To plant the car to the road, take the iconic Aston Martin grille, for example. It's not just a pretty face. It's carefully designed to provide the perfect amount of airflow to the engine, its form and function in perfect harmony. Aston Martin might be known for luxury, but make no mistake, racing is in its DNA. The roar of the engine, the thrill of the chase, and the precision of the drive are all part of what makes an Aston Martin. From the very beginning, Aston Martin has been proving itself on the track. Their journey started with a vision to create cars that could dominate the racing world, and what they learn on the circuit they bring to the road. Every innovation, every breakthrough in racing technology finds its way into their road cars. It's a philosophy that served them well for over a century. This seamless blend of racing prowess and luxury craftsmanship is what sets Aston Martin apart. Let's start with Le Mans, one of the most grueling and prestigious races in the world. Aston Martin first competed there in 1928, marking the beginning of a storied legacy, but their crowning glory came in 1959. It was a moment that would go down in history. The DBR1, driven by Carroll Shelby and Roy Salvadori, took the overall win. This victory was a testament to Aston Martin's engineering excellence and racing spirit. It was a David versus Goliath moment, a small British company taking on the giants of the racing world, a small British company taking on and beating the might of Ferrari and Porsche. This victory solidified Aston Martin's place in racing history, but it's not just about the past. The lessons learned and the victories achieved continue to influence their modern vehicles. Aston Martin is still very much involved in racing today. Their commitment to excellence on the track remains unwavering. They compete in the World Endurance Championship with the Vantage GTE, showcasing their cutting-edge technology and racing pedigree. And they've even dipped their toes into Formula One, supplying safety cars and now running their own team. This expansion into different racing arenas highlights their versatility and ambition. When you drive an Aston Martin, you're not just driving a luxury car, you're experiencing a piece of racing history, a blend of performance and elegance. You're driving a race car in a tailored suit. Every detail, every curve, and every roar of the engine is a nod to their racing heritage. Owning an Aston Martin isn't just about having a nice car, it's about embracing a lifestyle, a statement of sophistication and elegance. It's about joining a club, a very exclusive club where membership is a privilege and a mark of distinction. It's about becoming part of a legacy that has been meticulously crafted over decades, a tradition of excellence that stretches back over a century. Each car a testament to the brand's commitment to quality and performance. It's about experiencing the very best that the automotive world has to offer. From cutting-edge technology to timeless design. From the moment you walk into an Aston Martin dealership, you know you're in for something special. The ambience, the decor, everything speaks of luxury, the atmosphere, the service, the attention to detail. Every interaction is designed to exceed your expectations. It's all designed to make you feel like royalty, to make you feel valued and appreciated. Because when you're spending that much money on a car, you deserve to feel special. You deserve to be treated with the utmost respect and care, and it doesn't stop once you've bought the car. The Aston Martin experience continues long after the purchase. Aston Martin offers a range of experiences for owners, from scenic drives to thrilling track days where you can really push your car to its limits. Feel the power and precision of your Aston Martin. Exclusive events where you can mingle with other Aston Martin enthusiasts, share your passion and experiences, even the chance to visit the factory and see how your car is made. Witness the craftsmanship and dedication that goes into every vehicle. But the real Aston Martin experience comes when you're behind the wheel, the open road, the roar of the engine, the thrill of the drive. It's an experience that you'll never forget, a journey that begins with a car but becomes so much more. So what does the future hold for Aston Martin? A brand synonymous with luxury, performance, and the thrill of driving. In a world that's rapidly moving towards electric cars and autonomous driving, where does a company built on powerful engines and the joy of driving fit in? The landscape of the automotive industry is shifting dramatically. Aston Martin isn't burying its head in the sand. They are fully aware of the evolving trends and the need to adapt. They know the world is changing, and they are embracing this change with open arms. That's why they're working on hybrid and electric technologies. They are investing heavily in research and development to stay ahead. The Valhalla hypercar will be a hybrid, blending traditional power with modern efficiency, and they've promised that by 2030 all their mainstream models will be electrified. This is a significant commitment to sustainability. It's a bold move, but a necessary one. The future demands it, and Aston Martin is ready to deliver. But don't worry, they're not abandoning their roots. The essence of Aston Martin will remain intact. The company has promised that they'll always offer cars for enthusiasts, cars with manual gearboxes for those who cherish the tactile connection, cars that prioritize the driving experience above all else, the feel of the road, the response of the engine. Because that's what Aston Martin is all about, the pure, unadulterated thrill of driving. It's about the thrill of driving, the adrenaline rush that comes with it. The connection between man and machine, a bond that transcends technology. The future might be uncertain, but one thing's for sure. Aston Martin will face it head-on, with the same spirit and determination that's got them this far. They are ready to redefine luxury and performance for the next generation.